Hey, it's me, it's Thomas RJ Engel, and this is the Iceberg Lounge. This week we're going to be doing some predictions and preview for WWE's latest pay per view, Extreme Rules, which is this Sunday. But first, remember, like, comment, and subscribe. Um, Follow me on all my social medias. And if you like what you hear and want to donate and invest into my life, go to patreon.com/TRJI and become a VIP where you get to hear these podcasts 24 hours before anyone else will with just $1 or more a month. With that being said, let's get started. Up first, we're going to be talking about the Extreme Rules match for the WWE Raw Women's Championship, as we see the champion, former Miss Money in the Bank Alexa Bliss, going against Nia Jax, who was a champion literally at the last pay-per-view at Money in the Bank. I'm gonna have to see Alexa Bliss win over Nia. They did this weird thing with Nia where she was going into Money in the Bank as a baby face, and she was getting bullied by Alexa Bliss because of her weight and all of that. And then afterwards, when Ronda steps up, she all of a sudden turns heel. And she becomes the bully to Ronda. And then Alexa cashes in, takes out Ronda, cashes in on Nia, becomes the women's champion. Okay. I can just see Alexa Bliss winning, going against Nia Jax, and start a feud between Alexa and Ronda Rousey going into SummerSlam, possibly, because they're doing this whole, Ronda's suspended, so maybe that's just to get her off TV so they can work this storyline a little bit, because I know she's working house shows, because I think she worked MSG recently. And so now, the question is, are they going to give Ronda the Raw Women's Championship with this being her second singles match? The first one really didn't count, I guess. So, with that being said, I'm picking Alexa to retain. And maybe this will set up a feud between her and Ronda at SummerSlam, possibly. We're just going to have to wait and see. So, we're going to be talking about the WWE Championship match, which is not under an extreme stipulation. As we see the champion AJ Styles defending against Rusev. Is this too late to push Rusev? Rusev has been on fire more in the past than he is now. They're finally giving him a title shot after he claimed that he was going to get one at Money in the Bank, like, not this past one, but the year before in 2017. And it never happened. So, now he's finally getting a shot. Will Lana and Aiden English be at ringside? Probably. But will AJ Styles win this? Because I honestly think they won't pull the trigger on Rusev. Even though he has the fans behind him. They have a good story going. He's selling merch. I just don't think they're going to pull the trigger on Rusev. Which is sad because Rusev is a great competitor. He's very athletic. But so is AJ Styles. I think AJ's going to retain. And I don't know what AJ's plans are going to be for SummerSlam. Which I guess is good. Leaves, I guess, room for somebody to go up there. But maybe it will be a feud with Samoa Joe. Which would be great. But I don't think they're going to do Rusev. Probably the best thing for Rusev right now is to be in the tag division with Aiden English and have Lana as their manager. That's probably what is best for Rusev right now. And maybe push him after Rusev Day breaks up. But I'm picking AJ Styles to retain. Match number 3, we're going to be talking about the Deleters of Worlds, Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, defending their Raw Tag Team Championship in another non-stipulation match versus the B Team, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. The match that was supposed to be on at Money in the Bank, but apparently they didn't have time for it. So now is going to be at Extreme Rules. Okay. The B Team, I think, is a very good idea. Bo Dallas, former NXT champion. I'm surprised he hasn't been pushed into the main event. Another one, NXT champion, that hasn't been pushed to the main event is Big E, which I think both of them should be in the main event scene right now. Then you have Curtis Axel, the son of Mr. Perfect, former Intercontinental champion, former tag champion. But it just seems like they might be missing that it factor, possibly, to break them into that main event scene. But they're doing good as a tag team. But I think the B Team, I think, might actually win this. And they might try to push Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt versus the B Team at SummerSlam. It would be nice to see the B Team win it. It'd be probably a shocker to most. So I'm gonna pick the B Team. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, I think, are going to be the new Raw Tag Team Champions. Stipulation on this card. It is a singles match for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship as the champion Carmella defends against Asuka, with the stipulation being James Ellsworth, the legendary jobber himself, being suspended above the ring in a shark cage. In this one, I think Carmella's going to win. Carmella is a very good heel in the women's division, and having her cash in on Charlotte, beating her, and then having Carmella also beat Asuka, it's nice because it seems like she is the sort of cowardly heel that, funny, hides behind James Ellsworth, even though Ellsworth, probably could get defeated by anyone in the women's division. But anyway, Carmella, I think, will win, which will push this feud on to SummerSlam, because somehow Asuka's gonna get distracted or something else again, making Asuka Carmella at SummerSlam. And there, as of right now in this recording, I think Asuka will finally be crowned women's champion at SummerSlam. But I think Carmella needs to win this one to allow a bigger audience to see at SummerSlam Asuka being coronated as women's champion. So my pick will be Carmella retaining. Almost halfway through the card, we are coming up on the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match, which will have the Bludgeon Brothers, Harper and Rowan, defending against Team Hell No, Daniel Bryan and Kane. This was a surprise when Kane came back. I don't think anyone saw this team reunite again. But this is hard because I really wanted to see the Bludgeon Brothers versus Sanity. But as of right now, they are burying Sanity with them not even having a win. And I really thought Nikki Cross was going to be coming up with them after NXT TakeOver, because she had that good send-off at TakeOver, but oh well. With this one, I think they're gonna put over the Bludgeon Brothers. I think this team of Bryan and Kane were simply put back together to put over the Bludgeon Brothers, so that they would have someone of recognition that they have beat heading into SummerSlam. Now at SummerSlam, I don't know who they're facing. They might not be facing anyone, but I'm gonna say the Bludgeon Brothers retain the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Up next is a match I am looking forward to. It will be the third stipulation match of Extreme Rules. A 30-minute Iron Man match for the Intercontinental Championship, as we see the champion Dolph Ziggler with Drew McIntyre in his corner going against Seth Rollins. This will be the match of the night. I'm calling it right here. This is my pick for it stealing the show. Just for the simple fact they're giving these two wrestlers 30 minutes of screen time says a lot. But Dolph Ziggler, I think, is going to retain, because I think they're going to be pushing Seth Rollins into the main event scene going into SummerSlam. Well, hopefully someone takes the Universal Championship off of Brock No-Show Lesnar. Speaking of that, Brock Lesnar, as we all know at this point, showed up at UFC 226 and basically announced his contention for the UFC Heavyweight Championship while he's still with WWE. Now, is this something set up by both Dana White and Vince McMahon? Considering Dana White was at WrestleMania this past year. Did they set up some sort of deal, some maybe cross-promotional event? I don't know. As of right now, you probably won't see the fight till January or February. But it's interesting to see what they're going to do at SummerSlam. Are they going to keep the Universal title on Lesnar so that way he can walk out with the championship at a UFC event? Or are they finally going to give it to someone else, like a Seth Rollins or a Roman Reigns or a Braun Strowman or a Kevin Owens, or maybe even a Finn Balor? As of right now, I have no idea. But to have the title not on TV for so long, it's like, what is the point of having it? Because as of right now, the Intercontinental Championship is the top championship on Monday Night Raw. The Universal title isn't there. The IC title is. So really, Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins are fighting for the top prize on Raw, in my opinion. But my pick again, Dolph Ziggler retains. Next is a singles match where we see Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley, which is basically, I would say, the top two contenders for the Universal Championship right now. Both of these men have been booked to the ground. Roman Reigns has been pushed down everyone's throat. Bobby Lashley, ever since he's came back, hasn't been booked well at all. Impact has actually done a better job with Bobby Lashley than WWE has. And so this one, I really don't like when fans do this. But as of this point, they're wanting to rebel. But I think this match, we will hear tons of different chants. And no one will really be paying attention to it. So if I'm going to pick one, if they're ever going to do it, now I'm going to pick Bobby Lashley. Because if they're going to do this dream match between him and Lesnar, it's got to be now or never. So I'm picking Bobby Lashley beating Roman Reigns. Up next, for the WWE United States Championship, we will see the champion Jeff Hardy going against Shinsuke Nakamura. This is an interesting feud. You have Jeff Hardy being more of Brother Nero, and then you have Shinsuke being Shinsuke. I would actually very much like to see a Hardy Nakamura tag team, just because of them being so different. I really want to see Nakamura win. Jeff Hardy really hasn't, done anything with the belt more than just holding it. But Shinsuke, I guess, can be a heel U.S. champion. That would probably be good. A lot of people would probably rather him be in the WWE Championship picture with him being champion, actually. But as I'm going to pick it, it's going to probably be Shinsuke Nakamura becoming the new U.S. champion to let Jeff go and heal a bit more. Number 9, Finn Balor versus Baron Corbin in a singles match. This one, I really don't care about. I'm going to probably pick Finn Balor, maybe with some interference from Kurt, just to get Baron Corbin some comeuppance. So with that being said, that's what I'm going to do. Is say that Finn Balor is going to win, and maybe they'll put him in the main event scene again. Don't know. In our next stipulation match, it will be a steel cage match with Braun Strowman going up against Kevin Owens. This match is going to be it's going to be good. It's going to have some comedy in it. I'm going to say Kevin Owens is going to win, though, simply because Braun Strowman, I think, is going to throw him so hard, is going to break one of the sides of the cage, and Kevin Owens is going to win that way. Strowman is Mr. Money in the Bank. I think Braun Strowman might cash in at SummerSlam. I think whoever is going to be facing Lesnar, whether it's Reigns, Rollins, Finn, Lashley, whoever, I think by the end of the night, whoever beats Lesnar will lose to Braun Strowman. and Braun Strowman will finally be Universal Champion after many matches against Lesnar. So I'm just picking Kevin Owens because I think he's going to win just simply being thrown by Braun Strowman through the side of the steel cage. Finally, The New Day versus Sanity in a tables match to start off on the kickoff show. This match, it's going to be good. I think Sanity should win because the New Day can take a loss. And if anything, what I would like to see is, with this loss, have dissension within the New Day from Big E. I really think Big E should be in the main event scene, going for the WWE Championship. He's a former NXT champion. And I think the main event scene needs Big E. Because he has mic skills, surprisingly. So, and with Vince liking the bigger looking men to push, I think Big E's a great candidate for being a WWE champion. So, on this one, though, finally, it's going to be Sanity winning because they need the win desperately because they're getting buried right now. That is it for this episode of the Iceberg Lounge. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to invest and become a VIP of the Iceberg Lounge, go to patreon.com/TRJI. And if you want, comment something you want me to talk about on the Iceberg Lounge. And I will try to talk about it. And remember, it's always all to God.